Alright, so I've been playing some Slay the Spire Defect, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm just really bad with this character. So why not do a recording? I wouldn't look to this video as like a good example of how to play Defect or anything, but if you happen to be pretty good with Defect yourself, why don't you go ahead and, you know, as always, I guess with Slay the Spire you have to mention it because it's such a thing, I guess, with a lot of Slay the Spire video creators or streamers or whatnot, but like, I am absolutely open to any backseating, and I encourage it. So yeah, if you have any advice or anything, I would gladly take it. But anyway, we'll get into it here. I'll still always try to explain my decision making, whether it's correct or incorrect. You know, I'm certainly not as good as this game as I am at Monster Train. Alright, so I don't... My first thought is, like, I don't really love these, Meow choices. Maybe potions is okay. Like, maybe I could take potions, go, like, hardcore on events. That way I don't really need to pick up cards. Maybe I can see if I get some gold from these, hit the shop. If not, maybe I go there. We end up there. We go here, see if we're strong enough to take that. If not, we go this way. Honestly, we should probably just go this way anyway. Like, 3 advanced hallways is probably equivalent to... Or I guess they wouldn't... Maybe 2 advanced hallways, depending on what happens, right? But, you know, go either way there, then maybe take a 3rd elite. But this is actually a pretty good path, because it's like, there's a lot of options to, like, move out of it, or do other stuff. I feel like if I do this path, I wouldn't boss swap, maybe, and I would just take the potions, because I'm very unlikely to have potions if I'm not getting fights in. And then I'll just have potions to take these elites on with. It's kind of what I'm leaning toward. The curse one's an absolute joke, I feel. For max HP, come on. Transform and Boss Relic, I feel, are similar. It's just like completely RNG based. I don't know. I've been trying boss swap more, and it just really seems like I got an ectoplasm, I got a busted crown, I got a tiny house. It's just like, I know in the back of my mind it should on average be good, it just never is for me. Potions, it's hard to miss on, right? It just seems kind of underwhelming of a bonus. But I think I'm going to take the potions here and commit to that route. Okay, we got really good potions there for fighting the elites, so we'll see what we can do here. I'm going to just defend, block all damage. You know how we do. And, well then. Game of skill, as you can see. You know, just use good skill. Totally not RNG. Fucking hell. Gosh, and then it gives me a goddamn liquid memories. Good thing this, by the way, always happens when I take the potion event. It just gives me a potion anyway in the first fight. Meanwhile, like the last one that I didn't record, went like 4 entire fights before the elite, not a single potion. Well, I don't love these. It's probably go for the eyes. I mean, honestly, damage-wise, Claw's technically the best here. But, like, it's not going to be enough. Whereas at least the They go for the eyes. The only thing the claw might be okay into is probably like Lagavulin, but I'd even say against Lagavulin, probably go for the eyes is better. It's like it's almost like an Iron Wave, and for 0, because it's going to save me 5 damage. Against Nob, it's going to save me a lot of damage, and yeah, it's pretty useless against sentries, but so is Claw. Like, you're not redrawing Claw much into sentries. They kind of round down to being pretty much the same. In the Barrage, I'm just not going to be able to generate... I'm not guaranteed to be able to generate a lot of orbs. Especially if I'm not picking up additional cards. So it's probably just go for the eyes, right? That's my logic. Let me know if it's wrong. Well, this kind of sucks, because it's like... I wanted to gain gold, not lose gold. So I guess that one's out of the question now. Could maybe go there if we earn gold specifically there. I mean, I could heal. That's... a little bit of that is wasted, right? Because I am only missing 14 HP, but that's not a huge deal. I get to keep more gold there. This is a weird one, but I might just remove the Fen. You know, we are very light on damage. And, kind of opens up my future picks to, like, kind of justify if I'm not offered any offense to still take some defense. So I think I'm going to remove a defend. Okay, we're getting back gold. At 114, it's still not a whole lot for this, to be honest. Did just lose some gold. Now I really wish we took the heal, right? I'd have more health to work with, I'd have more gold. Like, I'd actually be at a pretty comfortable amount of gold, I think, right now to enter this shop with. I feel like 160 is a good threshold. That's like, you can technically afford the shop relic with that usually. But now I can't afford any relics. It'd only be, like, I don't need any potions, right? I guess I could remove a card. It's gonna be pretty hard to do these fights without picking up cards, though. I mean, what if I go this route? This is maybe not as good. Nah, because then we can go either route here. I think we go here. Guess I'm taking a shop anyway. Alright, I'm not too sad to miss out on Strange Spoon. I'm definitely sad to miss out on Tori and Helix, though. That really sucks. I think the only real choice here is FTL. It's pretty good damage. It's expensive. But I can also afford the cool-headed, so I'll do that. Alright, obviously not going there then. Go back to this route. Jawworm. Does suck to lose all this health, doesn't it? I might have technically had lethal there. Ooh, boot sequence. What about beam cell? Getting together some sort of a zero-cost deck here. Boot sequence doesn't help a whole lot against the elites. It helps against, one of the 3 sentries. Pretty good card though overall. The beam cell isn't really adding a whole lot of damage to my deck, considering I just have strikes and 0 costs. However, it does have synergy with the fact that I have a cool head in a way. You know, I draw a card, I can play it. I suppose I would take the beam cell here. You know, we did remove a defend though, so like maybe a boot sequence is fine. I don't have to play it at the start. I can just redraw it. It's not too good into the knob. I'm probably good into the knob with the attack potion though, honestly. I could technically also pull this back out with a Liquid Memories. Beam Cell would make a Sunder better. We're trying to prevent damage. So am I going to be able to beat the knob? Am I going to be able to beat... I mean, I feel like attack potion plus beam cell is pretty good into all the upcoming elites. So let's take the beam cell. Okay. Alright, this is probably the elite we didn't really want to see, but whatever. I don't care about stripping artifact. I don't even know if this dual cast is like good here. I'm wondering if I should save this for the other elites. Like it's probably at its least usefulness in this fight. Could Liquid Memories the FTL and draw. Let's see where this lands. I should have started with this. Okay, it landed there. I can kill next turn if I draw strike, beam cell. If I don't draw specifically that, I will play the attack potion. Actually, no. I'll play Liquid Memories because I need the attack potion if it's knob. Alright, we'll do Liquid Memories. I guess a strike. I should have not done that. Yikes. Alright, whatever. I'm just bad. Maybe that dual cast wasn't worth it. I don't know. I mean, it allowed me to block all damage, but did hurt my damage moving forward. I think striking twice here is better. Puts it in range. We're definitely going to have to heal at the next campfire. Down to a 50-50 here. I was willing to die over it because this run isn't going very well at all. We're still probably going to die. All that for a tiny chest. We still got an okay potion, obviously, now that we've fought the sentry, so it's not as good. Seems like a pretty obvious compile driver to me. I don't know, is multicast better? I feel like it's just compile driver. It has synergy with the beam cell. It has synergy with the fact that I have 0 costs. You know, I'm drawing into stuff on 3 energy that I can still play. It has synergy with a cool-headed. Very obvious rest. Now I don't know at 28 health should I take this. I think I should. I have 2 really good potions. Well, 1 really good potion. I have to imagine Knob is pretty good for me. Lagavulin would be questionable though. I probably lose to Lagavulin actually. Especially if it's green. We still have 1 normal hallway that we could fight. But I am locked into this advanced hallway. But I could, you know, just go this route. Only take on 2 elites, but I can heal there. That's salvageable. It does suck that I'm holding these potions. I guess though I don't really care about holding the explosive. I can use that if I need it on these hallways. I just don't think on 28 HP with my deck right now that I can justify, you know, fighting a green elite. Could take a steam barrier. We have like the nuts for an all-for-one right now. I do feel like I probably need it. I did remove a defend. You know, I have okay damage right now for what it is. We could definitely use a steam barrier, I feel. I mean, I could probably use all of these, even a turbo. Right now doesn't have huge... I mean, it has some synergy with the fact that I have draw stuff. I wonder if I should also be like beelining for question marks. No, there's not really any way I can do that unless I went through that. We'll get 1 question mark in. Let's do... I think it's a steam barrier. It's also like better into the Guardian. It's better into Lagavulin, which is the fight we're scared about. I think we're good into Knob. Suppose we take that. Yeah, we definitely take it. Well, that Gremlin hard carried this fight. Who needs AoE when you got Gremlin Horn? That be. Ooh, rebound. Rebound seems actually good here, right? Has synergy with the fact that I can draw whatever I rebound back a lot of the time. And I have like 0 costs to go with it. And it's just a lot of damage. We go for the advanced hallway elite. It doesn't really make sense. We gotta heal and hope that we don't lose a ton of HP here, because we're locked into a... Oh my gosh, well... Not the best fight for... Game of skill. Still gonna hold that for Knob. But if I have to use this, I will. Rebound here doesn't work amazingly, but looks like we kill. I do want a turbo in this deck, to be honest. I just don't know if right now is the proper time to add it, going right into 50-50 of Knob. Like, it's useless into Knob. Second beam cell seems odd. I'm really worried about Lagavulin. None of this really helps with Lagavulin, though. I think we're just dead to Lagavulin, aren't we? I think we gotta skip here. We also gotta think we're fighting a Guardian and we're down to defend. We don't really have a good deck into the Guardian either, which is sad. Okay, I'm pretty glad to see this. I'm gonna wait till turn 2 to do this. So let's... Here's a bit of a conundrum. It's like, if I beam cell now, I get an extra, you know, 4 damage. However, I think we rebound beam cell, cool-headed beam cell. Pretty sure that's the call. That way we're vulnerable again for a turn. Such nice draws. Well, we definitely need to do this while he's vulnerable. Ooh, Core Surge not too bad here. But this is 15 damage. This is 11 damage. I mean, it's close in damage, honestly. I think we do this. This saves us quite a lot. I should do this too, actually. I should have just went with the streamline, but we should get the kill here anyway. Yeah, I didn't... totally underestimated the amount of damage I was doing there. Alright, well, we bricked the first artifact, but the second 2 have been good. We also replenished with a really good potion. Oh man, as much as I want delete that scrape is so good with this deck. I got a 0, 0, 0, 0. I could make the zap a 0. I could even make the dual cast a 0. But for Guardian, which is now the problem we need to solve, obviously a leap might be better. I feel like there's just so many cards like leap that I can find, but at the same time, my brain says leap, my heart says scrape. I just, you know, realistically, scrape doesn't help me at all into Guardian. It even hurts me to add another attack. I think there's just no question about it. I have to take leap. Sweet. Love that. Okay. Picking up the charged battery here is really good. We're definitely set for Guardian now, and I can get away with not resting here. So now we have the freedom to make some pretty good upgrades. Charged battery is always a good one because you basically always want to play it. Steam barrier is okay. You know, it's more base block for 0, but it also just decreases or increases, similar to like a biased cog, it just increases how long you're positive for. FTL gives you a little bit more leeway, a little bit more damage. I don't think that one's great. Beam cell's always a good one, and then double the effect of the invulnerable. Cool-headed is always good. This one's maybe more useful to me later though, when I have more, hopefully, energy to work with. Go for the eyes is okay, especially in the Guardian. Zap is always a fun one. It's not like zero cost stuff isn't already good for us though, right? Zap might be the odd man out. For the upcoming fight, I think we should do something that's good for the upcoming fight. And it's either go for the eyes or charge battery. I think it's go for the eyes. What if we extend it and say what's better for the horrible Act 2 fights? Probably equal, I would almost imagine. I mean, both are only the upgrades are only gonna be effective if I'm getting attacked that turn, so nothing changes there, right? This one technically adds me a little more damage, you know, 1, but for what it's worth, it does add me damage, which this one doesn't. The block that this earns me does mean there is somewhat of a difference. You know, on the turn they're attacking me, the upgrade of charged battery saves me more health potentially. You know, depending on what happens. You know, if there's no attack the following turn, then the upgrade here was useless. The thing with the Guardian though is most of the time there will be, you know, think about when you put it into its defensive form. There's 3 attacks in a row there. So this most likely saves me more than a charged battery does for Guardian. So I think definitely go for the eyes is probably better to Guardian. It also just, the amount of damage, if he does end up doing a big attack, you know, weakness saves a ton of attack there. Probably go for the eyes. At the same time, we have a Blessing of the Forge that we're probably using in this fight, honestly. Oh, this is a horrible opener. An absolutely abysmal one. At least we got an extra damage. Who knows, maybe I pop him by 1 here. Do we want to upgrade FTL or whatever card it draws? Probably whatever card it draws. But these... oh yeah, okay, this is definitely Blessing of the Forge. So 3-3. You know the funny thing? That upgrade, I just talked about it, that technically I get extra damage from the go for the eyes, 1 extra damage. Not saying that I exactly calculated everything out, but look at this. I am exactly popping him. I want the defend back instead of the steam barrier. I'd rather not play steam barrier if I can, just keep it at its max amount. And this defend pretty much gets me there, especially if I combo it with that. I'm in no rush to dual cast this. I also don't particularly want to draw here, so let's just do a strike. You know, I'd like to get a huge Dark Orb off if I can. I don't need to FTL here. Perfect. I could rebound leap compile driver. Full block. Still don't need to play steam barrier. Alright, that definitely looks like a dual cast. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to play like cool-headed and stuff and only cast it for one. I don't think I need to be like particularly greedy here. This is a good turn for that. Haven't had to play Steam Barrier yet, that's pretty nice. Not a full block here, it's I think the first damage we've even taken. I could rebound defend, it won't result in full block. Could also just cool-headed dual cast defend. I think that would be... It's not full block either. But, I don't know. Do we worry too much here? I mean, Actually, I can't even do the play that I'm thinking about here, so why don't we just do that. There we go. Almost a full block. And then he'll just be dead before too long here. Huh. That's interesting. Is it worth it to use the fire potion here? I have to think it's not. It's only 4 damage. Yeah, there's no way that that would have been worth it. Alright, well, I'd say we navigated everything decently. The only thing Meteor Strike really does is it opens up Snecko and really opens up like Turbo and stuff. Otherwise, it's obviously adding a deadweight. Amplify with our, 0 powers. Doesn't seem great. By default, it's just Seek, which right now doesn't have huge reasons to even be added, but it is the only thing that actually does anything for me right now, and it's a really good card, I feel. So we'll take it. Of course we get Snecko Eye. Why not? So that's an interesting point. There's not that much high of a chance of me getting a Snecko, right? I have to imagine taking a Meteor just at the chance to get a Snecko is a bad move, right? Even though obviously a Snecko ends up coming up here. Another thing to think about is my deck currently is horrible with Snecko because all of it is like 0 cost, you know? Like literally like half my deck is 0 cost. And none of it is above 1, so why would I take something like that? I don't love any of these choices, but I don't hate them either. Like, I've definitely had a lot worse choices recently. I don't typically like a Slaver's Caller going into Act 2 because it's just a nightmare, the normal fights, and this doesn't do anything for you. At the same time, I don't know that an inserter is doing really much for me. I mean, all I have, I guess I have the symbiotic virus, and it is kind of good with that because it delays a lot of the time, the time before it gets evoked, which is usually a good thing with Dark Orbs. But, you know, all I have is a cool-headed as far as, like, additional orb gen goes. So, like, is Inserter really helping me that much? Snecko's kind of a downgrade to my... And I like Snecko quite a lot, but it is kind of a downgrade to my deck at the moment. Because the average cost is so low. I don't really see how I can really take a Snecko here, but... Let me know what y'all would pick here. I guess I'm going with the Collar, just because it will be pretty good long term, but... You know, without a Consume, I just don't like Inserter. I guess you could argue that it opens up Consume as a pretty takeable card. I'm just gonna go with the collar. I think given that we have this chest, we should try to go the route that has the most question marks. I do have a lot of money though. Maybe we go this way. With the collar, with my deck, I don't really want to take any hallways on if I can help it. Like, I just see myself taking massive damage from all of the hallways, other than birds. And I can't really avoid many hallways. This is a typical Act 2 for me. Just littered. I mean, this is better than usually. Usually I can't take on 2 events like this, but you know, this one will be an advanced hallway. I don't think this one will be. I can't remember the exact mechanics because it's not consistent between acts, right? In Act 1, you always guaranteed 3 non-advanced hallways your first 3 fights. That's not how Act 2 works. I don't know the exact mechanics on Act 2, but like, for sure this is an advanced hallway. I know that much. I don't know what the... Just based on previous experience, like, I've had exact floors like this, and I know for a fact that this was an advanced hallway, right? I just don't know if this one is. Maybe the rule is there's 2 normal hallways and then an advanced. Maybe that's the rule. I feel like it's something more like past floor, you know, 3 or 4. They're just all advanced. I think it's something more like that. It's probably something I should memorize if I really care to get better at the game. I like this though. I have some flexibility here, and then I can keep going for more events. You know, I could go this way and get a bunch of events. I can go this way and also get a bunch of events. If I go left, I can also finish with a shop, which would be nice. Maybe I really want to go left if I can here. You know, maybe we go this way and plan on going left. Either way, though, we should start here. Yeah, I suppose this isn't that bad of a fight. It's not a great one either. Should I seek out a zap? I'm gonna wait on seek. Should be able to finish this fight with the Dark Orb. It'll be at 18. 18 by 2 won't be enough to kill it, so rebound dual cast. I don't particularly want to rebound any of these cards if it's not dual cast. I guess it actually would have killed. Damn it. It's a costly mistake. So they would have had 39. This would have been 36. I know I'm an asshole for doing this, but I do want to reload this fight. I'm basically just going to lose if I let myself take that much damage, and I'm not going to learn anything. These are the type of decks I want to learn from. Like, my experience with the defects is basically like, I either get something broken, like Biased Cog, or Echo Form, or I just kind of lose. And this seems like a just kind of lose run so far, and I'd like to actually win it, so... Or at least give myself a chance to. I'm going to do everything the same, except I'm just not going to make that dual cast error. So we will rebound, dual cast, and then zap, beam cell. Yeah, I mean, that's just a gigantic error right there. Can't be making mistakes like that. My compile drivers are quite good when I start with Symbiotic Virus. I do wonder, like, unironically, is a claw good? I feel like it never is, right? But I do have a rebound. I have card draw for it. And even that. And I have no scaling at all right now. Like, nothing of my deck scales, and claw technically is something that scales. I just don't know what you need on Ascension 20 Heart to actually make a claw work, to be honest. I don't think I've rarely seen even the highest win rate players ever pick claw unironically, right? It is kind of that bad of a card. I mean, you basically, like, you can't really rely on doing it with just one of them. You need a few of them, I feel. Or obviously you need some sort of all-for-one shenanigans. I mean, I'd have to play this claw twice to even surpass the damage I'm getting from a compile driver. But the compile driver draws 2 to 3 cards. And then there's Static Discharge, which I guess technically is scaling. I don't know when to take Static Discharge, to be honest. I've never really liked this card. I suppose if I already had a repair, maybe I like it more, but it's like the thought of like it would make more sense if I was Ironclad or something, right, where health is a resource, but health isn't really a resource for Defect, I feel. Like, it's just like if I'm losing health, I'm just losing. And, you know, a lightning, I guess the upgraded version is a little more enticing, but it's like, lightning doesn't do that much damage. If I don't have an electrodynamics especially, it just, you know, it's pretty useless in any AoE fight. I mean, I think, you know, maybe not as useless with the Gremlin Horn. I just feel like a compile driver. It's either skip or compile driver here, but I really like the compile driver because I can draw so much. I think we definitely want to add like a turbo to this deck. But yeah, let's. I lost my stuff. Maybe our plan was this, huh? It's only one elite if I do that. Guess we could open up still going there. Oh, we got a shop anyway, so actually this isn't even that super necessary. We could go like that, I think. Ooh, data disk. I don't know, Sling of Courage kinda good with my deck, right? I have 0 cost cards. Most of my damage right now is in a one-time Dark Orb, but you know, other than that, it's like attack damage pretty much. I could technically afford both, I think, right? No, I can't. So I gotta do one or the other. Sling of Courage, I really wish this affected bosses, though. I feel like if it affected bosses along with elites, I'd be a lot more open to it. If it's only affecting elites, perhaps Data Disk is better. We're definitely buying one of these, right? Panacea could open up Bias Cog or Hyper Beam. I mean, they're open anyway, but it opens up like a high roll for them. Rip and Tear could be comboed with the Sling of Courage. However, Bullseye actually pretty good for this deck if I go Data Disk. So these both are like pairing with whichever relic I choose to buy here. Recursion's not super out of the question considering I do have this Dark Orb, and we may just have to do a recursion thing to keep it alive, but it is a common card. It's not that hard for me to find it in the wild. Like, do I really want to spend money on it? Maybe I'd rather just spend money on a Bullseye, which I think I would. Bullseye really amps up the damage there, makes my lightning orbs better, especially if I do this and they go to 4 damage, they're getting an entire 2 extra damage from this lock-on. Also, we have potions. All of them good. The bomb is not a card for me, not at 215 gold anyway. Hello World is not untakeable, but right now I really like the Bullseye data disc. Could I afford a removal as well? I don't think I can. That would be 140, 184, 200. Yeah, that's definitely... I can't remove a card, Bullseye, and data disc. That is kind of an issue. We've made 1 removal so far, but to get another would be nice. But I think adding a Bullseye and a data disc definitely opens up the beating... it's probably weakest into Slavers? Not really. I think it really helps with Book of Stabbing in particular. I think it helps everything. I think we're just going to do that. And I guess I could still take Rip and Tear if I think it's good. I don't think it's great. We're also against Bronze Automaton, and we have not near enough defense for that. I don't know how we're beating Bronze Automaton, but maybe that's just something I shouldn't even think about at the moment. Alright, that's a great fight for us. Oh, but that was a question mark. Well, maybe that's not so great. Didn't really want to do that, but whatever. Dual cast here. Is that okay? One second. Go for the ice, pretty good in this fight. Let's do this. We got this. We can bring out this. Then this. We'll finish that off. I can take 6 here, that's fine. This fight went worse than I thought it would, but what are you gonna do? Three. Oh, right. I thought I was gonna do both into the dead guy, but I guess it's nice enough not to. Well, Hologram is the better card here. We don't need an overclock when we just have, you know, two compile drivers and a cool editor and a FTL. We have card draw covered, I think, and a seek for what that's worth. Hologram is okay, but I think an upgraded leap definitely wins here, especially that's pretty good into Bronze Automaton. Still, by the way, haven't earned the relic that we should have gotten on the first elite. This is why Tiny Chest is such a joke. Like, you should have just got a relic, so it gives you no relic. And even though that was the very first elite I fought, I am, what, almost halfway through Act 2, purposely hitting as many question marks as I can, by the way. And I still haven't got the relic that I should have just had from the get-go. So that is why this is just a horribly designed relic. Bad game design, you can't tell me it's not. I don't know if I want to... I wish... By the way, like, why is it called lock-on and it doesn't actually lock what the orbs are hitting? It's such a missed opportunity. We gotta get this guy's health lower so that we can finish with that dark orb. I think, though, we can probably justify... I need to save health here. I'm gonna rebound, dual cast, defend, stream barrier. Hopefully that bullseye not being played doesn't hurt me too much, but I can always fire potion if I need it. Okay, still not below the health account here, so that sucks. Guess we could compile driver. I think it would hit the one on the left at this point. At the same time, it doesn't quite kill it, and it might be getting healed here. I don't really want to use the fire potion in this fight, but I have another advanced hallway. Luckily, this is the easiest advanced hallway. This is probably just a loss, honestly. I'll never get the relic that I should have got. And I'm just gonna die. I would almost even just die to this guy. Luckily I drew my advanced leap. I think it was probably good to take the fire potion there given what just came up. Pretty bad potion. Yeah, these are definitely the run. It's tough too, because like I've been trying to study the better Defect players, right? I can't really find many runs that end up like this, where it's like I basically just stop watching usually at some point toward the end of Act 1 or Act 2 when I see that they get a bias cog, right? It's like, well, obviously that's an easy win from there. But I haven't found bias cog in ages, and I don't know. And the time I did, it's like, yeah, I win that run because it's easy. But what about these runs where it's giving me fucking tiny chest from the beginning? It gives me crap Neo choices. I have to fight tooth and nail just to get through every single point. I'm stuck with a deck of mostly commons. And the uncommon, like I mean, look at this deck. The only uncommons I even have are FTL and Bullseye, and that's it. And I think I know I bought Bullseye. I may have even bought the FTL. I can't even remember. And I guess I have one rare, which is a Seek, which was a boss give, right? All the other random and the wild stuff has sucked. So, and then I get, you know, advanced hallway here, yet another just complete common offering. Now granted, these are okay, right? But at this point it's like, am I really going to add these cards? Like, they're doing more of the same of what I already do in this deck. And adding them now might give me a little bit more power, but it gimps my later power. Because it's adding more kind of mediocre cards that would dilute, if I end up actually finding a good card, my chance to actually hit that card with consistency. Maybe I'm overthinking it and I should just add one of these. Like a charged battery seems decent. I'm more worried about this hallway than I am the elite, to be honest, because at least for the elite, I can actually use Slaver's Collar. And again, also, it's just like my boss relics. It's like, it gives me Snecko with the deck that I currently have, which is just not, in my eyes, doable. And then it gives me Inserter, which is just a completely underwhelming relic, which really wouldn't have done anything for me so far. So, you know, I default to Collar, which has done nothing for me so far, right? But none of them really would have done anything for me. It also, you know, I go to 2 events and it ends up giving me a fight anyway. Even if it's an easy fight, I still take damage on it. So, like, even in cases where I'm not even getting faced with Avocado and stuff, it just seems unwinnable. How do you win these defect runs? So I'm open to backseating here. You know, you can see the seed in the top right here as well. Feel free to run it, and if you find a way to beat it, just let me know how you beat it. I don't care that you have some advanced knowledge, or some advanced knowledge of the run. Like, go for it. And hopefully it's not just something as simple as you win a boss swap, well I didn't, and then the boss swap ended up breaking the run. Like, I'd rather not that be the case. Like, if you can somehow not do the boss swap and beat it, on top of that, I'd like to see that. Or if you boss swap and it's not a good boss swap and you can still beat it, that's fine too. But if it's like boss swap into, you know, Runic Pyramid or something, like, I don't really care in that case, right? It's just like, I want to see the seed, more or less, how it's been presented to me, done. I wish there was a cursed seed equivalent in Slay the Spire. It doesn't seem like there is. If there is, somebody let me know. I'd love to watch those and submit seeds like this. It's like, I don't know what to do here. I guess I'm talking this over because it's like, I'd hate to be a pessimistic, but I see the writing on the wall already, right? I have 23 health. I picked up a useless potion. I'm going into an advanced hallway. These card choices really aren't going to help me. My current deck sucks. I have no relic really help, actually, at this point. I'm just going to die. I'm just going to die. If I don't die here, I die later. But I suppose maybe the charge battery... Let's think about, what do we have right now, distribution-wise? I got 4 attacks, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10, 11 attacks out of the 23 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are straight up defense. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are straight up defense. So deck is skewed toward attack. And then you got, you know, these are technically more on the attack side. This is more on the defense side. This could be whatever. So even like the utility cards are more skewed toward offense, so maybe I should balance it out by adding a charge battery. It just isn't that much block, right? It's 7 block. With how stupid these upcoming fights are, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. You could argue maybe the fact that I have a Gremlin Horn makes me want to still skew toward offense, but these aren't even that gigantically offensive of cards, right? 9 damage, 7 damage. Slight synergy with my single beam cell. I think on 23 health, I could also argue that charge battery makes the speed potion a little bit better. So maybe I should add the battery. I think I should. And here we go, Snake Plant. 24 damage right off the bat. No defense cards, even though I added one. Hopefully we draw into one. If not, I'm just dead. Because I have 23 health and 24. Alright, well we barely survive here. I should probably rebound Steam Barrier, I'm thinking. Just so I have it next turn in case he does 24 again. I mean, I guess I could speed potion the single block card there as well, but probably no point. So definitely we're not taking that, obviously, on. Assuming we even get out of this alive, which is quite the assumption. Let's move the Dark Orb to the front. Alright, as we see, it was good to do that. Oh, and I'm just dead. So there you have it. Even if I do this, it doesn't matter. There was nothing I could have done this run. Actually, okay, I have one. I take it back, I technically have 1 health. Ooh-wee. Now when I draw all of this, you don't attack. And a compile driver, I guess. Well, we want to draw back to dual cast, I'd have to imagine. Look at this. Leap, charge battery, leap, defend. I look at these runs that the other players play and I just don't see these things happening. So I have to specifically draw. Probably shouldn't have played that. I mean, I guess I could technically try one more time there and not play the Go for the Eyes before I redraw and just see if I somehow draw you know what there, but for the most part it's, yeah. So we'll do the same thing here, rebound. I think we have to dual cast. It's like the only way we even come close to victory here. Do everything the same. Then I seeked a compile driver, I played it, and I drew another leap. And I guess alternatively I could just game this. I'm trying not to game the system here though, right? I don't think you learn much from like reloading and just, you know, due to particular draw orders, but I do think it was probably a misplay to play the Go for the Eyes before the Cool-Headed. So that's why I'm just doing this to see what would have happened. So really there just doesn't seem to be a way to win this fight realistically. Like maybe I hold the leap specifically for here, but that doesn't really seem, you know, legit. So I'd say it's just a death in a no reload scenario, right? So again, I don't know. How do you beat these, especially like not without reloading, right? How are you gonna win? You know, I get a non-relic. This one was pretty good. This one was pretty good. This was a non-relic. But would have Snecko Eye helped me survive to this point? Would have Inserter helped me survive to this point? I highly doubt it. I don't remember exactly every detail of these fights, but you know, we can go back and watch them on the video, or you can go back and watch them. Let me know if Snecko Eye or Inserter somehow makes me not die here. I don't really see it. I guess the only other decision was the shop, like the data disc. Maybe it wasn't that good. Maybe the bullseye wasn't that good. In the context of what showed up, sure, it really wasn't, but what else do I do at that shop? Obviously, Sling of Courage doesn't do anything for me. I never made it to the Elite. I guess removal and pickup of cards, pickup of, I guess I could have picked up a Distilled Chaos, which is, I don't know. I mean, look at my deck. Does a Distilled Chaos seem that good to you? I don't really think it does. Like, Distilled Chaos is a lot better, I think, if you don't have a bunch of 0-cost cards and just a bunch of 1-cost common mediocre cards. Right? Never was I, you know, I wasn't even offered a Ball Lightning or a Cold Snap on this run. Wasn't even offered that. I wasn't offered a Glacier. I don't recall seeing like a Chill, no Defect. I mean, hardly any powers at all. The only powers I were offered was like Heat Sinks and a Static Discharge. I mean, is a Static Discharge like what was gonna win me this run? I don't know. I don't see how it does, given everything that showed up. I was, you know, I was offered Charge Batteries, Leaps, Meme Cells, Go for the Eyes. The only Frost I was offered at all was a Cool-Headed, and I took it. And I had to, you know, questionably early too, but I just don't see it. Like, I see these 80% win rate players, or 70 to 80% win rate players. I watch their streams, I rewatch the VODs, and it's like, I don't ever see these runs come up. I don't. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. So like, how can I learn when I just see them? And I'm not diminishing their skill here. Like, obviously they're incredibly more skilled than me, but it's like, it's just frustrating because like I don't know what I can learn. I can pick up little things with the early game, but it just always seems like they'll find a bias cog or an echo, like I said, a bias cog, an echo form, or a defrag or something. Glacier, any pickup that is like actually good for defect, or they get a deck like this and they just get like a hologram reprogram within Act 1. I never see the times where they're just stuck with this bullshit and they have to make it work, right? Like, how do you make this work? Anyway, I've ranted long enough. It is what it is. As always, thanks for watching, and please let me know. I am trying to get better with this horrible... Like, I'm so bad with this fucking defect. And it's frustrating, because I don't see the learning opportunities, really. I think that's what I like about Monster Train, is it's very clear why I lost. And I don't even have to be outcome oriented around it. It's always like a process oriented thing. But let's say the Spire, Watcher excluded. It's just a giant mystery to me a lot of the time. Like, what the fuck I was supposed to do differently. It's like I even felt like I was playing alright, right? Like to even get through that Act 1. I felt like I made a lot of pretty mediocre stuff work. And here I am, just dead the same. It feels like I never had an opportunity to get powerful. You know, even with a data disc, right, which is a good relic, but in this deck, like, I guess the bullseye was pretty bad. I don't know. I was just thinking along the lines of like, it should be able to pop off, but maybe I am adding it too soon. What do I add at that shop otherwise? It gives me a rip and tear. It gave me, what, another static discharge? Like, what am I supposed to add there? Another fire potion, I guess? You tell me. Obviously, I'm, like, frustrated, but yeah, anyway. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.